sewing room. I'm Tia and this is Dorset.Threads. So I'm back again with a little chat of what I've been up to this week, show you a few bits and my plans going ahead. So to begin with, I will explain what I'm wearing. So this is the very well known, I presume very well known, Lady McElroy Cobra Corsage fabric. It's a viscose fabric in the mulberry colourway. It was everywhere. This time last year, it just seemed to me it was everywhere and I just couldn't resist buying it. I'm going through my wardrobe and finding dresses that I haven't worn or outfits I haven't worn and wearing them and then deciding whether I want to keep them, adjust them, move them on to somebody else that might want them, recreate them, make changes to the sizing and whatnot. I will put a clip in to show you what it looks like full length, but basically it's the Tilly and the Buttons Lyra dress on the bodice, and then I've mashed that up by using the chalk and notch, I had to remember them, chalk and notch fringe dress for the skirt because I didn't want the tiered and gathered skirt that comes with a Lyra dress, so I prefer to put the fringe skirt on, and I've lengthened that, which you can't see here, but I'll just stand up so you can just see the vibe of it. So yeah, it's the mulberry colourway. I really love this deep colour, and yeah, the Lyra bodice, I've got my collar there, and this is the kind of collar I do prefer actually. I guess it's the one without the stand. I don't feel it, you know, when I made the shirts in my previous vlogs, I this is the bit that I feel slightly uncomfortable or not me, and I much prefer a flat sitting collar. So yeah, I do like that. And I will always wear it open. I know you can wear it buttoned up to the top, but that's not me. I like a bit of a V. Yeah, so this is the bodice type, and I've just got the elastic in the sleeves there. And then, as I say, I've put the fringe skirt on the bottom. I've got a belt on it today, but it is quite loose. And I've not really worn this before. I always felt like it was a bit restrictive across my bust, but it doesn't look too bad. But I will wear it today and sort of then ascertain whether I like the fit of it and whether I want to remake it or anything like that, any of that jazz. But yeah, wear it for the day and go from there. So what have I been up to this week? Well, the previous weekend I went to the Sew and Social that I mentioned before, the local one to me, the Fine New Sewing one, that I'd started the Alexa blouse by Atelier Jupe in the gorgeous pink and black floral colourway of their winter collection that I'd gotten from Beyond the Pink Door. Couldn't resist it. As soon as I saw the fabric and that it had the Alexa blouse made up in it, I kind of couldn't get it out of my head. I just thought, yeah, that's me. I like the colourway, I like the vibe of it, all of the things, so I wanted to make it. And I started at the previous social, as I said. So the first thing I did this week was I wanted to get that sewn up and finished, and she is finished, as you can see. So it's got these lovely dramatic sleeves. I went with the solid cuff again. I just think that's my preference, and to be honest, I like the look of the buttons, but I don't want to be faffing about with it. I much prefer that look for me. The back has the pleat detail, which just hangs beautifully. A little boy playing football out the front of our house. Okay, so it's got the pleat details in the back, which just drapes beautifully, and I think the pattern is abstract enough that I don't have to worry about pattern matching as such, although I did make a attempt down the front, which I was actually really super pleased with how it matched up here, so there's no real jarring. I just got some simple black buttons, see if they'll focus, out of my stash that I just popped on there. I thought, well, if I put those on there, if I want to change them at a later date, that's kind of an easy fix really, but I'll go from there. Got the little collar, I call it a granddad collar, but you know, that sort of collar. Again, I didn't bother, I've got a top button here. I didn't bother putting one in the collar because I will never wear it like that, and quite frankly, why give myself the headache of perfectly putting one in, placement and machine and everything if it's sort of fine how it is. So yeah, I'm super pleased with how this turned out. It was a relatively quick sew. As I said, I started it at the social on the Saturday and then finished it up at the beginning of the week. Popped a little label in there, handmade, that I thought I popped a little label in there, handmade, and I thought the colourway went quite well. Again, I'll put a video here of me wearing it. I actually wore it at the beginning. I finished it, I think, on the Monday, and I had a dental appointment on the Tuesday, and I thought, aha, what better time than to wear it out and about. I will wear my new Alexa blouse out to my dentist appointment, and might have been a little bit overdressed, but it made me feel better for something that I really wasn't looking forward to, going to the dentist. And there's a local park opposite my dentist, and I sort of did an impromptu photo session there where I took some photos while the sun was out dodging the rain, because the weather's been horrendous here. So yeah, I managed to get some photos. So as I said, I'll put some footage in there, but I was super pleased with that. With a pair of black trousers, I need some new trousers, but a pair of black trousers, that's a really nice, smart outfit that I feel really good in. And yeah, it lifted my spirits when I had to go to the dentist, which I really didn't want to do and I didn't enjoy, but it is done. I didn't bite the dentist. Did I reward myself for buying anything? So then, after sewing that up and going to the dentist, I wanted something quick and easy to sew, a simple sew, something I'd made before that would, you know, whiz through the machine relatively quickly. And as I had mentioned in previous videos, I bought a few fabrics from Beyond the Pink Dot, which obviously I'm a Sew Inspired ambassador, so I do always buy my fabric there anyway. It's my local fabric shop, but I am more than happy to share the things that I make with the gorgeous fabrics that come from Andrea's shop. And I recently bought some fabric, and I'd earmarked a couple of them for just some simple long sleeve tops, and I had made one in the urban pastel viscose jersey, and then I'd picked up this Stuff of Denmark cone flower, I think it's called, and this is a cotton jersey, so it's not quite as drapey as the viscose, but it's still got a four-way stretch, super stretchy. And again, I made another long sleeved Agnes top, popped a little label. I thought the pink matched up pretty well with that. Perfectly imperfect. What I actually did with this one was I took smaller seam allowances down the side seams, just so that I had a little bit extra give, so that it would be sort of skim the body and I wouldn't feel restricted in it, because obviously it's a form-fitting top, as you can see. That's the waist coming in, and I want to wear it, and I thought if I feel it's too restrictive, I know that I will always grab something else rather than this one, and the colours are just too nice and too vibrant not to grab. And for a winter top, I thought the colours would just be a bit more cheery than, you know, the usual sort of wintry autumnal colours. And for me, obviously the pinks and the blues are just really my cup of tea, so I'm really pleased with that. Again, I'll see if I can put some footage so you kind of see how it fits on the body, but it kind of has ended up being my go-to long sleeve top for layering pieces, and sort of giving you a little bit of extra warmth, because obviously you can wear it under shirts and sweatshirts and things, and you've got the long sleeves. So yeah, I was really pleased with making that one up, and it was a quick sew, so yeah, really super happy with that one. And some other things that I started this week but I haven't completed, but I'll just show you sort of my work in progress. So with the fabric haul that I'd gotten from Beyond the Pink Door, and I'd used up the fabrics for the long sleeve tops, I did also get some of the more of the funfetti. I've shown this before. I've got a lovely dress in this, and I wanted to make something else in it, a little top or whatnot. So I have cut out a top, but it's sort of a work in progress, and it's something I'm going to share a bit later. But yeah, that one's in progress as well. I've got quite a bit left over actually. So yeah, so as you can see, it's been cut out. Really love the colour in this fabric. Obviously the blue's really nice, and then you've got all the other colours that just you can pick out to match up with either sort of black trousers, or you know, the paler blues, or even these orangey pastel-y colours. So yeah, I'm really pleased with getting that one cut out, and I want to get that sewn up as soon as I can. So I'm planning on going away for a short break with me and my husband. I think the week after next we're just going to Cornwall for a week, which I'm really looking forward to. We've done it quite a few times before. We tend to always go away that week, and I'm really looking forward to that. But that's kind of got me in my head thinking, what do I want to get sewn up beforehand, take with me, and be able to use, because that's sort of changes my priority list a little bit. So that was my next thought of what do I actually want to take with me. So one of the items that I wanted to take away with me and use was the Beyond the Pink Door bag kit that Andrew had made up for the Noodlehead Crescent Tote kit. So I had shown that on my previous video, but I thought I really want to crack on and make a start with that. And I thought, because she's got a YouTube tutorial that will take you through the process, it should be relatively straightforward, because her tutorials are really good, and she always has tips and tricks that will sort of save you time and effort and worry of if you've got things right. So I opened the box up and made a start with that on my new machine, which I was super pleased with using. So let me just grab a few things. Yeah, so the kit was for the Crescent Tote bag by Noodlehead, and I added the pattern. She has that as an option. I added the pattern because I didn't have the pattern, but obviously I've got that for next time. I predominantly thought I'm going to follow Andrea's YouTube, because let's face it, she's made it, digested all of these and then come up with the goods. I chose the colourway that is, oh, that goes really well, doesn't it? Is this sort of mulberry cotton canvas. Hopefully you can see the proper colour there. And then the lining is actually a poppy fabric, is this one, which is just super rich, very, very soft. And that will be the lining, so they pair up quite well. This, I've got my interfacing and whatnot on this, so yeah, they're going to pair up really well. And then the handle, is going to be like this. It's cut because obviously I've made a start. So that was the colourway that I was going with. It's obviously a colourway I've gravitated to before, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to making this up. So basically I've got to the stage where I've cut everything out. I followed the tutorial that Andrea had for her lay plan and how she had laid things out, and in particular how she had arranged the foam base, and in particular how she'd done the foam base and got a nice clean edge there with no puckering. So yeah, I followed that. I've got to the stage where I've made the handles, so that's kind of the remnant. So I have made the handles, so I've just done this where they have it double over so that you've got that sort of shape going on. I just popped some tape on the end because this is a woven handle, and I found that when I cut it, let me grab this. So when I cut it, depending on where you cut it, obviously you had these loose bits, and I thought, well, if I'm going to be manhandling them and putting them under the machine and whatnot, I need to just secure those down, because I don't want my handles getting any shorter than they should be. So I just popped a little bit of tape, it's only low tack tape, on the ends of each of those, so they're ready to go. And then the next bit I did was, I started one of the pockets, the zip on. I popped this on the end because I didn't want the zipper pull coming out off and struggling to get it on. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know that. Yeah. Top tip, pop something on the end so it doesn't come off. And yeah, I'm super pleased with how my machine is stitching. It's got really coming up really neat straight stitches. I'm not sure if you can see that, but I'm really pleased with that. And obviously the thread is matching. That also comes in the box with on the kit, so didn't have to scrabble about trying to find a perfect match. So yeah, so that's where I've got to. Just sort of most of the time was actually the cutting out, and now I'm obviously beginning the sewing up. So yeah, I'm hoping to get that done this week, and then I can take it with me. When we go away. And then the other thing that I was thinking that I wanted to do was I wanted to sew up the subscription box fabric that I had recently got. I think it's number 44 that I had received from the Think Pink subscription box that we get monthly. I'm kindly gifted that box as part of the ambassador program. Super pleased with that. I've always subscribed, so yeah, I'm really happy with that. And I cut that out, so I've got sort of some work in progress here. To my other sewing social Saturday. It's a little bit further to drive. It's in Southampton. I actually had a mare driving there. I don't know what was going on. Usually pretty straightforward, but I guess it's because we're now sort of in the later part of the year, and you kind of get that winter sun, and I don't know whether it's much lower, and it just really causes an issue with me driving. because obviously I'm a short girl. I'm a very short girl. And when I'm driving, the sun visor, you know, you have the sun visor on the car, it just doesn't make any, you know, any help with my driving at all. It doesn't block any sun because I'm lower in the seat. The seat's at the right height and everything, but obviously my torso's short. So yeah, I had a right mare. I had sunglasses on, but my eyes were really struggling. I am quite light sensitive and I really struggled, and got there safe and well. Little delayed because I ended up with a detour because I had a little detour because I had a wrong turn, but yeah, got there in the end. And when I got there, it was just such a great day. Met out with my friends that go there, lots of tables, all, you know, we all had a chat, and yeah, just lots of gossiping going on and laughing and things, and lots of mistakes being made because we were chatting and not really paying attention to what we were sewing. But I had taken away a couple of projects, well, one project really, but 2 parts. So this is the fabric that came in the subscription box that is absolutely lovely. Really lovely brushed cotton, really nice colours. Again, the pinky colours are just right up my alley. Nice light material, and I have decided to make a loungewear come pyjama set. I and ahed. I could have, this material lends itself to so many options. I could have made an overshirt. I recently obviously made a couple of those. I could have made an overshirt and that would look fantastic with a pair of trousers or a skirt over a, you know, a white t-shirt or a pink tee or any of these colours. It would look fantastic. I went down the route of trying to find a bit of inspiration for dresses because I wasn't sure, because initially, you know, this sort of design just jumps out at me as being pyjamas, but I thought I'll see if I can find some inspiration. So I did go and look actually on the Next website, which is just like an easy go-to to look for, and I found quite a few inspirational pictures that I thought, well, actually this would be makeup. So this is the sort of material that lends itself to so many options of makes. But what swayed me was, as I say, we're going away to Cornwall, and it's just going to be a very chilled out break, me and my husband, and we're actually staying in a log cabin, and it's all going to be, you know, log burner and cabin and in the woods type vibes. So I wanted something casual to sort of lounge about the cabin in. Why not? Waft about in the cabin. So I thought I will make a loungewear set. So for starters, this is going to be the Closet Core Carolyn pyjama bottoms. Obviously they've got to have a waistband on them to draw them in. You have this lovely stitched fly detail on the front. I'm not sure that's coming up. And you have pockets in the front like this. And then obviously the idea is that they're very comfy. You have the waistband on with the elastic on to draw them up. So I've more or less finished those. I started them at the social Saturday. I basically need to overlock the seams and make up the waistband and then hem them, but obviously I wanted to try those on in a full length mirror at home, so they will be done. And then I'm pairing that up with a different type of top. Yeah, so this is the Carolyn pyjamas, and obviously you've got the option here of full length sleeves, full length bottoms. There's actually an option with the bottoms that you can have piping also around a cuff detail here and here and on the pocket. And I'm just going to make up the basic trousers that have the fly detail and the pockets. But I didn't want to make the top because I thought if I do end up wafting about in these and then I want to sleep in them, I'm not a fan of sleeping with a button down top. So I didn't go for the button top. I decided to go for my tried and tested lovely pattern that I make time and time again. Yes, you all know what it is. It's the, so I decided to go for the Friday Pattern I decided to go for the Friday Pattern Company Donny. There you go, she said it. And get a better idea if I just show you those. So it gives the impression that it's very similar to the Closet Core sort of boxy top, but there's no buttons down the front. You actually pattern match and join here, and then you've got this sort of Revere collar that comes out. So I also started those. I thought I'll finish the bottoms when I come home, and I'll make a start on the top. And I've got as far as, so I've got the front. I've managed to pattern match down the front, which I'm really super happy with. So there's pattern matching going on here. So I managed to match the stripes up. I've got the collar on correctly this time because I was too busy chatting and didn't do that correctly, but I've managed to do that. So I've got the inner yoke, outer yoke, and then obviously the lapels sort of come over like this to the centre front. This is going to give very comfy, cosy vibes for wafting about a log cabin in the woods. Very chilled out with my husband, go out for a few days. Hopefully the weather will remain good and that we can go out for a couple of days. But that for me sort of swung it because I knew I would wear it straight away, and the fabric is so nice. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to wear it straight away. So it was a bit of a head scratcher, but I'm pleased that I've made the decision, cut it out and made a start on that. So I spent all of Saturday at the So Time Social run by Claire and Stacey Harper, and met my friends, lots of chat, lovely food. She lays on a lunch, that was lovely. Raffle prize, again, just, yeah, a super good day, and with good people, enjoying ourselves, all sewing and chatting and whatnot. And it's a shame to come home, but yeah, all good things. So that was kind of my week done. So I got a few things sewed up. I've got a few plans that I want to get cracking on with and finishing before, you know, I go away. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to having a chilled out week away with my husband, and just to change the scenery also. It's just lovely, isn't it? And Cornwall's just a lovely place to go. So hopefully we can actually get out a few days and go and see a few things and enjoy ourselves and go from there. So there will be a video on Sunday. I will give you an update on how I got on with those things that I wanted to get finished, and anything else that happens and comes into the sewing room. I've got a few things that are due to be delivered, and I will update you with how I've got on then. And yeah, hopefully you all get some good sewing in. Probably sewing up some cosy makes now that the weather has truly turned, in the UK at least, and with a sort of a forethought of the November-December time where things turn a bit crazy with gift making and plans for Christmas. So yeah, so I will be back on Sunday and I will update you all then, and hopefully you all have a good week. So hopefully you can come back to the sewing room on Sunday and we'll have a catch up of where we've got to and what our plans are, and yeah, all the good things. So until then, goodbye. See you then. Bye.